My name is Dave Robinson, and I come from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and I live very close to Collingwood, which is 100 miles north of Toronto. For most people that don't know, it's a little burg that I live in. Anyway, I am a general contractor, and I led a very active life before my accident. And as a general contractor, I did a lot of construction work, and I also did a lot of sales, corporate sales, and also I played in a rock band, a classic rock band, and I did acting and that. And so what happened this one night, I also was very active in sports, and then I played tennis, and I would walk the dog and the cat every day. But I have this company called Powerline Lot Painting, and we were off to work one night, and at around 12:30, 1 o'clock, we stopped at a local Tim Hortons coffee shop to get coffee. And what happened was I went out on the patio because the men that work for me smoke, and we went outside, and I went to sit down on the seat, and my drummer's wife was actually sitting at this table, so I went to sit down on the seat, and I had a black coffee in my hand, and what happened was there was no seat there. There was just a raw piece of steel, and what happened was the lower part of my back impacted with the steel. I scraped my back, and I pitched forward, and I spilled the coffee all over my groin, and I scalded my legs, and within a month and a half, this abscess had grown up my spine, and basically was on its way to kill me, and it got within an inch of my brainstem, and they said that if they hadn't caught it in time, I would have died. But I had an MRI done the very day that, I went to numerous hospitals, and they never discovered what the problem was. And so it took about a month and a half before they finally figured out what was going on. I was actually going paralyzed. And then they finally did the MRI. When they did the MRI, they seen the mass on my spine. Right away they operated on me because it was threatening my life. So after they did the operation, before the operation, they made me sign off on a document because they knew I was going to be paralyzed. They said I'd be paralyzed, and there was nothing they could do about it. I'd be paralyzed and sign here because they don't want to be sued. So it was either not the operation or I would die. So I went and, of course, signed, and the next morning I woke up paralyzed. I was actually paralyzed from my neck down. I had no arm movement, no hand movement, and I was having trouble breathing. So over the next year and a half, I ended up going from hospital to hospital. I contracted C. difficile in the Collingwood Hospital, and I also went, I lost 60 pounds there, and then I went to a rehab hospital after that. I developed a really bad abscess on my rear end at the coccyx, and what happened was that took another 6 months to heal. So all in total, I was in hospital for a year and a half, and before that I also went septic at one point where I almost died then. So I've had numerous challenges with my health. So in May of last year, and I've been dealing with my morning routine is I cannot get myself out of bed, so I have to have PSWs get me up. I have to use a lift to lift me up out of the bed, put me into the wheelchair. I have a power wheelchair that I can go around. I also have to use a catheter to empty my bladder. I have to go to do my bowel treatments 3 times a week, spaced out throughout the week, and that's always a challenge because I'm in pain all the time with my back. I have a lot of pain with my back, and so I had extreme pain after the operation at the location of the surgery, and it has subsided over the last little while. Now this happened back in September of 2008 when I first had the operation, and now it is June 27th, 2012, and I heard about this treatment a year ago when I was at home and I seen over the TV spinal cord breakthrough on the news, and so I called up, this was in Canada, and I called up the University of Winnipeg because a certain doctor there had won an award, and I asked him to call me back, and I was so anxious to find out about this breakthrough that I ended up Googling spinal cord breakthrough, and up popped these sites about stem cells and how stem cells were helping people. So when I started reading some of the people and talking to them, I contacted them. I was amazed that the stem cells were actually helping people. So I really did a lot of investigation on it, and I decided that this is what I'm going to attempt, because I'm not going to take my life sitting down. I was an active person before, and I intend to be active again, and so I pursued it, and I came upon Dr. Quintero's website, and after numerous discussions with him, and you know, a lot of you know, I wanted to make sure that everything was on the up and up, and everything checked out, and I was impressed with his degrees in that, and the work that he's been doing with stem cells and that. And he was much more reasonable than some of the other stem cell clinics. So we made a deal, and I came down here as soon as I could. And already, even now, this is even before, I already feel much better, and I'm having more leg movement just prior to the injections that we're having, just from the all the hormonal treatment they're giving me and all the naturalistic stuff they're giving me, which is really helping me. So already I can see a difference, and so I'm very happy that I made the decision to come down here. Yeah, prior to coming here, I had a little leg movement, but now since I've been getting the treatment, I noticed that I have more leg movement. I can like move the legs more. This one here is ahead of this one. This one here is the one that is the real dead one. So I'm starting to move it, as you see. I couldn't do that before. So that's a difference already.